overcoming boredom and the fear of failure. Two of the biggest challenges people face when they quit smoking are boredom and a fear of failure. This is natural. Our survival instincts are all about being risk averse, and change carries risks. But if you can't learn to overcome your fear of failure, it will hold you back from a lot of things, not only quitting smoking, but life changes as well. When you decide to recover from addiction, be it alcohol, drugs, or cigarettes, you are making a large change. You are no longer giving yourself the comfort blanket of your addiction that allowed you to bury your feelings. Now, when you experience negative emotions, you will feel them and need to look for new ways to deal with them. But that is okay. You will learn to deal with your emotions without relying on cigarettes. You will learn to address these feelings head on and prevent them from happening. When your inner voice is negative, it is easy to believe that others are thinking negatively about you too. It can be scary to do new things because they leave you open to the judgment and ridicule of others. But think about the thoughts you have about friends making positive changes. Often you don't think twice about them or hope they achieve their goal. In your journey to a smoke-free life, you are likely to make some mistakes. You may be irritable and snap at your loved ones. You might slip up and have a cigarette. You may find it hard to maintain friendships with your smoking buddies now that you have removed the thing you have in common. These fears can be paralyzing, and it can seem better to stay as you are now. So don't make these mistakes in the first place. But know after an initial adjustment period, your relationships that matter will stabilize. Yet another kind of fear that people who quit have is the fear of slip-ups and relapses. The fear is perfectly natural. Many people experience slip-ups, and sometimes they will cause relapses. If you are open to learning from your mistakes, eventually they will help you stay smoke-free for good. They will help you identify your biggest obstacles to overcome and prepare to ensure they do not cause slip-ups in the future. But what can you do about these fears? First of all, do your best to acknowledge them. These fears are going to hold you back from achieving your goals, so you can't just sweep them under the rug where you'll trip over them later. Acknowledge them and explore your fears in depth. Write down your fears and write down why you fear these things and what it will mean for you if these fears come true. It will feel horrible and scary, but it cannot hurt you. You can feel horrible and afraid, and you can still be okay. Some fears are irrational, and some are completely irrational. For example, a fear of being eaten by a lion is an irrational fear for most of us. But if you were surrounded by wild lions, it is not such an irrational fear. Our irrational fears can often cause the most distress because we do not create coping mechanisms for them. If we are afraid of public speaking, we may take steps to prepare for public speaking, and this will reduce our fear. Because you are likely not to be eaten by a lion while walking around the city, you do not prepare for it or tell yourself it will not be a big deal, so you will continue to be afraid of it. Look at your irrational fears and tell yourself why these fears are irrational and why they would not be so bad if they happened. Fears are worries about the future, but during your smoke-free journey, you should be focusing on the present day. You need to focus all your energy on being cigarette-free today. The past and the future have no place in your thoughts about quitting smoking. You can make contingency plans to deal with issues that have come up in the past that may arise again in the future. But aside from that, you should not be worrying about the future. You may have a trip planned in 3 months with some friends, most of whom smoke, but you can't think about that at this point, because it is impossible to say what stage of your smoke-free journey you will be on in 3 months. You may be fine staying inside with your non-smoking friends while your smoking friends freeze outside in the smoking area. You may just be coming off a slip-up and need your friends to hold you accountable. It is hard to say where you will be in the future, so you need to focus on today. There are a lot of bad reasons not to quit smoking, but so far you didn't give in to any of them. Think back on your life and all the things you wanted to do but were stopped by fear. Did you procrastinate because of fear? Did you make excuses or give up before you saw any results? Let's say you're giving up smoking for your health. What is the alternative? Struggling to keep up with your kids while playing? Or dealing with health problems your whole life? Think about yourself in a positive light, and when you feel negative thoughts creep up, say positive affirmations. These are positive statements that encourage a positive mindset. For example, you may view a slip-up or mistake as a learning opportunity rather than a failure. Saying something like, "I am grateful for this opportunity to learn the limits of my willpower so I can better prepare for the future." You're doing really well. Continue on to the next program session for more tools.